Hi golfers, Nick here for Nick Taylor Golf. It's Friday, so welcome to another lesson on golf tips. This week in golf tips, we're going to talk about the ball position in a stack and tilt golf swing to help you golfers out there play better golf. A common question is about the ball position in the stack and tilt golf swing. In recent videos I've talked about hitting different types of golf clubs. In today's video we're going to talk about hitting the 7-iron and just moving the ball position around on the grid to help you hit better shots. So behind me here you'll see my grid is set up there on the ground there, so we've got the different ball positions which I'm going to explain to you right now. So down here we have the grid from my point of view as I set up to the golf ball. We have the center point here represented by this golf ball here, so we're going to call this one the 0 position. We have this forward T-claw here, so we're going to call this forward 1. Then we have backward 1, backward 2 position represented by this T-claw, backward 3, backward 4 and backward 5 position represented there by the black T-claw. So today's video we're going to test out these different ball positions, 0, forward 1, backward 2 and backward 5 to show you the differences in where you place the ball on the grid. The purpose of today's video is to really show you the difference in placing the ball position in a different location in your stance. In today's video I'm going to be standing square to the target line and just doing my normal golf swing. So when you're practicing you need to try and find out which ball position is the best one for you. I'm not saying you have to have the ball in a certain place. I like to have it in a certain place for my standard shots, but for you guys out there you need to kind of test this out a little bit yourself, see which ball position works for you. I'm just going to show you the differences in the 4 different ball positions today just with my normal golf swing. So first up I'm going to play my standard shot. So my standard shot would be in the backward 2 position. So the 0 point is where my left shoulder is. Now we're playing this in the backward 2 position. So this would be my sort of ideal location. I'd expect the swing path here to be slightly into out. So there's my standard ball position. That's where I feel the most comfortable. I feel like I can hit the straightest shots from there and make the best contact. I know certainly playing the ball back in my stance can help a little bit with the contact and the low point, but tend to get too much shape on the ball and maybe hit too much downwards. So from the standard ball position, which I like to have, which is 2 balls back, you can see that the club path there is 4 degrees from in to out and 4.8 degrees downwards. It carried 167 yards. So that's the standard position for me, which is 2 balls back of the left shoulder. What happens if we put the ball now on the left shoulder? So this is on the 0 position there. So that was 4 degrees into out. I'm expecting this one to be closer to 0. If I swing as similar as I did on that previous shot, I'm setting up and putting my hands in the same place, just on the inside of my left leg here. Just pushed out a little bit to the right, but I'll probably take it. Not quite as long distance as the previous shot. I tend to find that by placing the ball a little bit further forward in the stance. For me, I don't quite get the distance, potentially because of the club face being a little bit more open. So that one there was closer to 0, so 1.3 degrees into out and 2.1 degrees downwards. What happens now if we place the ball in the backward 5 position? So this is on this back T-claw now. I'm going to again swing the same as much as I can. Handle on the inside of my left leg. But now we have the ball a bit further back, so I'd expect this to be more degrees from into out when the ball position's played this far back. Felt pretty good. Just hang out a little bit to the right, so when I play the ball further back, I do open the face a little bit more just to counteract the swing path. I know I'm going to swing more degrees from into out when I play it further back. So that was 7 degrees from into out on that one. You can see it just pushed out a little bit to the right, and I hit around 6.9 degrees downwards. So again, you can see slight push. It did draw a little bit. The face was slightly closed, but again, still difference there in where the swing path is. So now we're going to play the ball now in front of the left shoulder. So judging by those shots there, I would expect this one to be probably a fraction out to in, maybe like half a degree, something like that. I'm going to swing exactly the same. Okay, I struck that pretty well. You can see on the screen, this one, this time started probably just to the left of the line or on the line and just sort of faded off slightly. So you can see the 4 different flights there different shapes, different deliveries into the ball. Let's take a look at that one there. So 0.7 degrees out to in and 0.6 degrees downwards. So you saw the 4 shots on the screen there, kind of what I was predicted with the different ball positions. And for you guys out there, you've got to try and find out what works for you. So sometimes I like to play the ball a bit further back. I can sometimes feel like I can compress the ball better and hit the ball a bit better. Sometimes I like to play it further forward if I want to keep it a little bit straighter. So kind of some days I will change it, just depending on what I feel comfortable with. At the moment, I like to have it 2 balls back, and that's where I felt the most comfortable. I tend to find that I can hit that the straightest from that position and still make good contact. Let's take a look quickly at some of that data. So I'm going to bring this data up on the screen so you guys can see it. So interested, the first shot there that I hit was 4.8 degrees downwards and 4 degrees into out. Second shot, which was the ball position on the 0 point, 2.1 down, 1.3 into out. Third shot hit there was the backward 5 position. You can see 7 degrees down, 7 degrees into out. And then the one I played the most forward, which was in the forward 1 position, 0.6 down and 0.7 degrees out to in, which is kind of what I expected. So if I wanted to hit a fade, I'd play the ball further forward. If I wanted to draw it more, maybe make better contact, hit down more, hit the ball lower, I'd play the ball a little bit further back. So you can see there's a strong correlation there between the ball position, the angle of attack, and the club path. So interesting to note there, guys, the angle of attack and the club path are quite similar. And that's if you swing straight towards the target. In the stack and tilt goal swing, we're not promoting you to swing massively into out, we're swinging at the target and just placing the ball in a different place in relationship to the shoulder gives you this different delivery path into the golf ball. Taking a look at the launch angle first of all in the ball data, you can see the launch angle is around 20 degrees in my standard ball position, which is 2 balls back from the center. It increased 2 degrees to 22 when I played it on the 0. It dropped down to 17.5 when I played it backward 5, and when I played it forward 1, you can see 25 degrees. So difference there in the launch angle. Spin rates are very similar. And then in terms of distances, kind of does relate to how you hit it, but certainly the 2 longest ones when I had the ball a bit further back in my stance. So interesting test there, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. So the point there is try and figure out what works for you. I'm not saying you have to put the ball in a certain place, you just got to find out what works for you guys. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't already, please follow me on my other social media platforms, and I'll see you again next week for another video.